Hello, beautiful people. I am here. I am arrived. I had some technical difficulties just trying to get into the space here. I'm like, but it's okay. I made it work. Not a problem at all. Hi, everyone. Welcome. So happy to be in space with you all to talk about this wonderful, beautiful, hold on, let me update this chart to today, baby. Beautiful astrology that's coming on today. I was looking ahead to July for this Jupiter and Leo situation. But how are you? How are you today, my friends? How are you arriving to the space? What is the vibe? How has your Scorpio energy been treating you? I'm going to pull up the Scorpio full moon chart here for just a bit so we can just talk about it. And then we're going to go in and do some personal readings for some friends in the space. But get comfy, get situated. I'm curious for you all. Any Scorpios in the house? Raise your hand. Will the real Scorpios please stand up? Please stand up. I have been sitting with Scorpio energy for the past few days, of course, because we have a full moon happening in Scorpio tomorrow on May 1st, May Day, Beltane, all of those many beautiful things. And I think it's coming right around the time where it's like, okay, cool. There are some really important energies to consider here, right? We have all of this Scorpio energy really piling up, and it's hitting a lot of Aries energy that's really active right now. So I think what's interesting most to me in regards to Scorpio is that there's two rulers of Scorpio. There's Mars, which is currently in Aries, and there's also Pluto, which is the more modern take of Scorpio. But classically, in classical astrology, Hellenistic astrology, Scorpio is ruled by Mars. And what I love about Mars and Scorpio is ultimately with Mars, we're dealing with war, we're dealing with conflict, we're also dealing with drive, we're dealing with passion, we're dealing with action. And with Aries, who is also ruled by Mars, it's like fiery action. It's in the moment, it's impulsive. It's cardinal fire. So it's like, wow, I'm going to be out on the field and I'm going to do something about this, right? Whatever the field is for you. But in Scorpio, we're looking at strategic action, water action, and fixed water as well. So when all that water is fixed and it's held, we get a swamp. But in thinking about Mars, where I think it's worth considering is that Mars in many ways is the shell of a planet that once upon a time had water, once upon a time it was thriving, there was connection, who knows the type of life that lived there on that planet. There was energy and it was flowing, it was going, and that's beautiful, right? And what we see of Mars now is the aftermath, death. It's a desertscape. There isn't any real sign of life on that planet before. So when I look to Mars and Scorpio, I'm also looking at the history of that. The history of life that once upon a time was thriving, once upon a time was flowing and going and moving. And now all that we have is the skeleton of that life that no longer is. And where Scorpio gets stuck is in looking at that shell, looking at that skeleton, and just thinking of what once was. And in the process of that, there's resistance. Resistance of we can't go back to the way things were, unfortunately. We can't go back. There's no turning back. And the only thing we can do in this right now moment is to wholeheartedly embrace the change that we're on the precipice of. Uncertainty. We don't know where we're going in this moment. We don't know the trajectory of this next chapter of life, this next chapter of Earth. We can only entertain the ideas of it. We can only point at all the shadows and all the skeletons in the closet for so long until we finally go, great, out with the closet, out with the skeleton, in with the new. So for this full moon in Scorpio, I really encourage you to look at those skeletons. I encourage you to look at those skeletons and also the stories around those skeletons, how we hold on to the once upon a time thriving, luscious Mars planet that once upon a time was thriving and no longer thrives in the same way. Could we accept that? Could we accept the story of what is right here, right now? That is where we're at. So we're moving forward, absolutely. But we're moving forward with our wounds, with our baggage, with our weight, and in understanding that the only thing constant is change. We can resist change. We can point, we can blame, we can externalize why we are the way we are and the melodrama of it all. Now, I'm not saying there isn't space for accountability in regards to who inflicted that pain and the damage that was done. There's a time and place for that, sure. But if the stories you tell about your wounds come from a place of defeat and victimization, then we're not rising to the higher octave Scorpio assignment. The higher octave Scorpio assignment is to risk vulnerability, even knowing that whoever we entrust our vulnerability to has the capacity to damage our hearts again. And that's okay. We will rise. We are resilient by nature. We are hardwired for resilience. Now, the chances are that other people damaging and causing harm, who knows where that lives. But to be in life, to participate in life, involves risk. And that's what Scorpio is all about. It's about having a relationship with risk and the aliveness that risk gives to us, how risk changes us, how risk informs us. What happens with Scorpio when that risk is intellectualized, is not fully embraced, informed, and whatnot? What happens is Scorpio now starts looking at the external world as like always on edge. Paranoia, that's the shadow of Scorpio. Thinking that the world is out to get you. It's like, babe, the world is not out to get you. And you're making it a lot harder on yourself by just letting uncertainty move through you. There's only so much that we actually know. And you might think with Scorpio energy, my intuition, it's strong though, I'm intuiting, they're gonna hurt me, they're gonna backstab me. How much of that backstabbing is a creation of your own paranoia and also the intuition of it being a possibility? And there's that thing, intuition, premonition, there's a fine line where some of it might come from a truth and some of it is manufactured from a shadow who is always on the outside waiting for that ball to drop. But the truth is, the world is not out to get you, but the world is out to transform you. The world is out to move you to a vibrational place that expands you, that grows you, that feels like, whoa, an adventure. The aliveness that we came into this world to experience. The risk of putting your heart out on the table and it being received beautifully and wonderfully with the respect you know you earn and deserve, while on the opposite side of the spectrum, the reality that that heart, the responsibility we give it in expecting others to treat it well, requires risk. There's risk with vulnerability, and it's the point. That's why we do it. That's why we love. That's why we try it again. That's why we do this again and again and again. It's okay. It's okay. All right, love. So that is a very short read on the full moon. If you would like to join my workshop, please join the collective. It's my private membership community. We're going to be diving into the full moon energies of Scorpio. We'll be doing a full moon ritual tomorrow for the full moon. It's linked in my bio. If you're watching on Instagram, if you are watching on YouTube, you can find all informations and things down in the comments below. We're going to do some personalized readings today. We are all booked up for today. We're all booked up for Saturday as well. I do these readings on Thursday and on Saturday. So if you want a little mini reading, you got to book in advance. So you can purchase it. Again, it's linked in my bio. You'll find all the information there, and you'll be good to go. You will be good to go. All right, friends. So, okay, let's see here. First up on the list today, we have, drum roll please. Let's see, pull up your chart. Oh no, what am I doing? Y'all, I am turned around. I thought we were signing on at 4 o'clock, but readings will start at 5 o'clock. So I started these just a little early. I usually start these at 4. I'm so curious why these readings are at 5. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so there was a little mix-up. Well, we are here. We are queer. Well, on that note, since we are still waiting for readings to come through, I'm going to put this stream on a temporary hold, and we will come back in just a little while. So at 5 and some change, we'll be starting our readings at 5:15 to be exact. Come back then. I started the stream a little prematurely, which is okay. I got a little too excited to talk about Scorpio energy, and here we are. Or maybe, maybe we hang out. Anybody have questions about Scorpio energy? Anybody, maybe we just do a little astrology corner, a little chat, heal and chill. Anybody have any astrology questions? You can drop it in the chat and we can open up the floor for questions while we wait for these readings to actually happen. I'm streaming live on Instagram. I'm streaming live on YouTube. Hey, YouTube, where you at? I love it. I'm gonna get some water. Questions. I'm not ending the stream. I thought I was gonna end the stream, but I'm not, because I'm already here. And the least we could do is talk astrologies. So if you would like a reading, the only way to book a reading is through the link in the bio, or a link in the description if you're watching on YouTube. We are already booked up for today. Readings will start at 5:15. I do 4 readings per live stream just to have some healthy boundaries with it. So that's how I usually like to flow. So let's see, some questions coming in here already. We live, we laugh, we love. A question coming here on YouTube. Are Sagittarius less affected by Scorpio? What do you mean by that? Can you elaborate? I will say, I don't believe in compatibility. I don't believe astrology is a great predictive model. It's an amazing way to kind of understand energy available in this moment. But to say that, Scorpio is incompatible with Taurus and vice versa, I think it's flawed. I think all that there is are different perspectives, and astrology helps us bridge that gap. So as far as the Scorpio full moon, it is a fixed full moon, so maybe fixed signs will experience more of this full moon than, let's say, mutable or cardinal signs. That tends to be the case, or what astrologers put out in the forefront. So if you're fixed signed like Taurus, if you're a Leo, if you're Scorpio or an Aquarius, you might feel this full moon in more full effect. But who knows? Like, astrology is way more than that, way more nuanced than that. So to make any sort of declarative statements, I don't think it's the best. Pluto in your first house, advice. So anytime we're looking at Pluto and the house it's in, that is the arena where we're deeply excavating something in our lifetime. Okay? That is the planet of Pluto. Deep excavation. Now, Pluto is an ongoing conversation. It's not like some of these outer planets that make shifts and like we really feel it for a good period of time. You know, like let's say a Saturn transit, we'll really feel a Saturn transit through, or a Jupiter transit, we'll really feel a Jupiter transit through. But Pluto takes a while to move, to mature. It is one of the more slower moving planets. So when we look at Pluto and its placement in your chart, we're looking at probably on your deathbed. When you look at the wide expanse of your life, you will see the Pluto through line. Now, Pluto in the first house is the energy of deeply excavating yourself, the parts of self. Now, depending on what sign it's in, will tell you the sort of flavor of that excavation. So when we're looking at, let's say, Pluto in Scorpio, we're looking at transformation and metamorphosizing. So if you have Pluto in Scorpio in the the first house, we're looking at that shifting and changing, the metamorphosizing self and the liberating of oneself through change, deep excavational change, sometimes through struggle, sometimes through intensity. Of course, it's more struggle and oriented if it's in Scorpio, because we're resisting a change that we know we need to have or make. So depending on the sign Pluto is in, will tell you the color or the shape of that. But if we're looking at Pluto in that first house, we are looking at identity, the self, going through an ongoing process of excavation and metamorphosis and maturing. Okay? That's the big thing. Now, what Pluto tends to do, though, it'll dangle some sort of like intense situation to catapult you into transformation and change. Pluto also gives you an idea of a past life and where maybe death happened, where we may have, let's say, even Pluto in the first house. You know, we're looking at maybe we took our own life in a past life. That's very much a Pluto signature. If we're looking at Pluto in the second house, you know, we were probably second house of money, poor in a past life, struggled our way in a past life. Pluto in the third house, we struggled to be understood, to communicate. Maybe we didn't speak up. Maybe we didn't say things. Fourth house, maybe the wound was placed there on our family. Maybe our family, a family member, someone really, really close to us took our life. Who knows? So as we look at the houses and where Pluto lives, it can paint a picture of our karma as well. Very much like the North and South node, but with Pluto, we're looking at that last breath, you know, that last exhalation and what brought us ultimately here into this new life for review and exploration through our dharma, through the work that we do. Okay, so very worth like looking into that as well. Oh, thank you for your donations on YouTube. I appreciate you so much. That's amazing. So hopefully that kind of explains your question. I'm gonna go into Instagram and see what questions are here on live as well. I want to give equal love to the folks watching, of course. Libra rising in the house. What do you think I will work with Pluto and Scorpio in my 4th house? Again, we're looking at deep excavation with Pluto. In Scorpio, we're looking at metamorphosis. We're also looking at shadow with Scorpio. So there's a lot of wounds in the 4th house. So wounds implanted by family, lies, deceit, betrayal by family as well. And what Pluto in the 4th house is all about is deeply excavating our philosophies of home. What is needed to belong to one another? And the evolutionary leap for Pluto in Scorpio in the 4th house is to go from suspicion and thinking that family members are out to get you or any of that, to fully forgiving the pain that may have been inflicted on you, seeing it as a part of the ancestral trauma, the ancestral lineage. That is 4th house territory as well. Ancestry, the root, the pillar of the family tree, that is the 4th house. That's why it's on the bottom, the nadir of your chart. And it's where new memories grow. Now with Pluto here in Scorpio in the 4th house, we got to make it very clear that we're breaking the cycle and creating a new family tree. So much of the Pluto in Scorpio generation, who are the millennial generation, Pluto is a generational marker. It's our mission for Pluto and Scorpio peoples to look at truth and to transform truth in a better way, to look at shadow, to not shy away from shadow, to bring shadow to the light, not to shame, not to make other people feel bad, but to work with it. You know, hurt people, and it sucks. You know, I trusted you. And what does it look like when that trust is broken, and how can we go about repair? That is very much the 4th house as well. So a lot of your karmic healing comes from really fully confronting the shadows in your family. It can be chosen family as well, embracing them for what they are, and then watching how that also feeds into your dharma. Your soul, Pluto, is the signature of the turmoil we come with that soul. And it's the mission of Pluto to make sure we do right by whoever's wronged us in past lives, or maybe how we've wronged ourselves as well. So that's what we're looking at here with Pluto in the 4th house. Okay. Really good question. What is a stellium? Really good question. So a stellium is a concentration of 2 or more planets in a specific place in your chart. I think 2 planets in a specific house is enough to consider a stellium. There's still a focus of concentrated energy. When we look at that stellium, we're looking at the signature of that archetype and how it will probably be a bit louder in your life. That theme of that archetype will be a little louder in your life. So when you look at, let's say, an Aries stellium, we're probably going to see Aries energy a little louder. You might have maybe your sun in Pisces, but you have 5 Aries placements. So that sun in Pisces is probably going to be a bit more dominated by the Aries fiery energy. That's why when you sit with someone who has like a Pisces sun, but a whole bunch of shit happening in Aries, that Pisces sun is like, people tell me I'm a Pisces, but I don't feel like a Pisces. It's like, well, no, that Pisces energy is still there. It's just the way to get to that Pisces energy is by fully embracing that stellium. Now, all of us probably have a stellium of some sort. I would say the Pluto and Scorpio generation, depending on what year you were born in, you probably have a Capricorn stellium. That's why for us, like if you have Saturn in Capricorn, we might have Neptune in Capricorn. and there's a concentrated energy of Capricorn for Pluto and Scorpio specifically. So not only are we looking at the shadow, we're looking at a dying and decaying world through Pluto and Scorpio. You know, Pluto and Scorpio generation, we've seen death from a very early age. Talk about 9/11 and terrorism and like the world is out to get you. It's a big, scary place. You know, we grew up hearing stories of, you know, pedophilia and sexual abuse. All of that is very Pluto and Scorpio, unearthing, right? So there is that sort of emo kid inside of the Pluto and Scorpio generation. But the medicine is also moving through that. How do we deal with that shadow? That wound is through that Capricorn stellium. Really looking at where Capricorn is in your chart and going, great, from the shadow in a very Capricornian way, we build something from it. We build something new. We unearth this world. And from the ashes, from the rot, from the decay, we will build a more integrous world, a more rooted world, and a world that, great, now that is only possible after we fully let the shadows be present and grieved all those shadows. So that is what a stellium does. Of course, we're looking at what house that stellium is in. Sometimes that stellium spans across 2 houses, sometimes 3, depending on the sizes of your houses. So you can see this like arc of a story of that stellium and how it's going to really influence the story of your life. But yeah, ultimately it's up to you. It's always up to you. All right, beautiful questions, y'all. Going back to Instagram here to answer some questions. Does this full moon, it's also happening during Beltane, absolutely, have ties with any past lunations or planetary alignments? I specifically have a vision manifesting, literally bearing fruit on this day. Here's the thing about, you know, looking at astrology and looking at what is being targeted, what it's being hit. On one side of the spectrum, we could look at this full moon and we can link it to a lot of other energies, right? But in evolutionary astrology, the modality that I practice, lunar cycles aren't the most reliable. And it's because it changes so quickly. You know, it takes a lot more than 2 days of the moon being in a sign for it to fully integrate. So what we're looking at with full moons or new moons are typically something premature that over time will grow and become more apparent. Now, a slower moving planet like Jupiter or Saturn or even Mercury we can work with a little bit more. You know, of course, Pluto, of course, Uranus. Those sort of planets we can really sink our teeth in because some of those planetary positions take years. So in those years, we can really integrate that message and go, hold on, there's a through line here. There's a pattern here. There's a loop. So when we're looking at these new and full moons, it's a matter of just like, cool, this full moon, for some people, we might feel super connected to it, especially if you have a moon in Scorpio in your chart. And we may not. You know, there might be something there, but it might be a little premature. And maybe a few days, a few weeks even, the Scorpio full moon or the new moon before that will be like, oh, I understand that. That's why with even new moons, there's this feeling of just like, we can do the rituals, but we're planting seeds in the dark for a new moon, right? It hasn't been fully formed yet. It hasn't fully happened. So there's that discernment in working with lunar cycles. Yes, if it helps you looking at this full moon connected to perhaps the last full moon cycle or maybe an eclipse cycle, if it helps you, fuck yeah. There's no rules. If it doesn't, great. If this lunar cycle makes you really tap into that synchronicity of just like, whoa, there's a connection here and it helps you, fuck yeah, there's no rules to this, right? But if you're like struggling to find the connection, there's nothing wrong with you either. Understanding that anything astrologically is just a point for us to contemplate the self, our awareness of self, and its connection to the cosmic collective consciousness, God, source, creator, universe, whatever you want to call it. That's all it is. Lunar cycles are but cosmic journaling prompts for us to pause and just take a look at ourselves, take a look at each other, and to contemplate the archetype that the lunation is happening in. So it's really, really up to you. If you find it useful to imbue meaning on, meaning with it, then yeah, keep going. Amazing. Yeah, sometimes just noticing the moon is enough. Absolutely. We don't have to overthink it. If imbuing transits with meaning accelerates your growth, pushes you forward, brings a concept that hasn't really been in your vortex, and in that you find use in it, great, run with it. If astrology is causing you anxiety, then I would say you're doing astrology wrong. Astrology is a tool to expand us, to push us expansively out of our comfort zones, and it helps us embrace ourselves and each other. If you're being baited with astrology as like, this is the full moon that's going to completely shake your life, it's boring. Honestly, there's no nuance in that. It's way more than that. Astrology should uplift. It should expand. And if anything, it should bridge a healthier relationship with uncertainty. I love, at times, like, not even knowing my horoscope, not even knowing what's happening astrologically, and then researching the lunation after it's happening. Researching a transit after the fact. I think there's a lot of really cool energy in that. We don't, you need both. You need both the framework and then the letting go of the framework to help you really bridge that trust. It's ultimately about trust. But good question. I love that you asked that. A question coming through on Instagram, what's the dynamic of natal Jupiter opposing natal Saturn? So, a little technical question here. Aspects, right? In astrology, there's a lot of, you can get real complex with astrology, which can serve a purpose. I'm not going to yuck your yum, but what aligns for me is simplicity. The main aspects that I will work with are oppositions, squares. Maybe I'll work with trines and sextiles, but I'm looking at squares and opposition mostly because that paints the picture of tension. Where is the tension? Where is that moment, right? And how do we get these chefs in the wheel? How do we get these chefs to talk with each other, not at each other? And the self is so complex, right? There's all these parts. And sometimes it just creates so much. It's like there's all these desires, and sometimes those desires feel at odds with oneself. And astrology, I found in my practice, is a tool to help all these parts to talk with each other, to find that middle path. Now, when we're looking at a natal, your birth chart, we're looking at Jupiter and Saturn at odds with each other. It helps us to contemplate what these two energies look like if they were to work with each other. First, we got to illustrate here what each of these planets are all about archetypally and what story they tell us. Saturn, a malefic planet, is known in classic astrology, the planet of just like turmoil and intensity, right? I like to call Saturn Daddy Saturn, because it's very paternal. There's daddy lessons, right? And I think that in my world paints a picture of sometimes in life there are hard truths to face. This idea of, I just want to be spiritual. I don't want to work. I don't want to work. I don't want to do the hard thing. I don't want to. I just want life to be easy. But life is sometimes hard, and sometimes that's the point. There are things in life that push us and challenge us so we can really test the limits of the ego. Saturn is the Mr. Miyagi of the zodiac. And at that, in the Karate Kid, he's going up to Mr. Miyagi and he just wants to be the Karate Kid, right? He wants to do all the moves and fuck everybody up. And what does Mr. Miyagi do? He hands him a little cloth and he goes, go out to my car, wax on, wax off. And in that story, I think it perfectly illustrates but I want this. And Mr. Miyagi is like that voice who's just well, show me your discipline. You want to be good at something, but the wanting is not enough. You have to show yourself and prove to yourself that you want the wanting. Sometimes we just got to do hard things. Life is sometimes not all that easy, and that's the point. That's the point. And the archetype of Saturn, there's a reason why I have Saturn tattooed on my arm, because I think Saturn is one of my biggest teachers. My Saturn return was one of the most powerful transits. And if you look at Saturn, here's this ball, and outside of it are all these rings. All these rings. And for me, I love that metaphor because I think of it perfectly as Saturn as being that planet of constriction. Trying to put something in a box through systems, through rules, through structure. It's like trying to contain this planet so that it knows its place. It knows what it needs to do. And I think that is a beautiful thing. It's beautiful to have systems. It's beautiful to have structures. It's beautiful to have rules. But it's also beautiful knowing when to break out of those rules as well. And that's why Saturn classically is ruled by both Capricorn and Aquarius. Capricorn being the builder of the home and the structure, and Aquarius being the breaker of that home and structure and going actually, this box is too constricting. I want to break out of it, right? So that's Saturn. And then we have Jupiter. Jupiter is the wanderer of the zodiac. Jupiter is rules. Yeah, I get it. But I want to feel God. I want to experience life. I want the aliveness that life has to offer. It looks up to the sky. That's why Jupiter is known as the god of the sky. It looks up and it goes, whoa, what is this? What is life? What is all of this energy? And I want to know. I want to see through life. And that's why there's this inner philosopher with Jupiter placements. Jupiter is a planet that opens doors, and Jupiter is a planet that sometimes closes doors so that other ones can open as well. So in that, what we see with this opposition is that there's a part of you that really just wants to be free and see this world as an adventure. And there's this other part of you that, cool, we can't be reckless with this as well, right? There needs to be rules. There needs to be conditions. There needs to be a home to return to, a home base. And in that is the tension with an opposition of Saturn and Jupiter. How do we get them to talk with one another? Yes, we want to be free, but yes, we also need a discipline to return to. Yes, we want to be free and we just want life to be an adventure, but to what extent is that limiting us from looking at the hard things that are testing the limits of our courage? So in that conversation, we get to find that middle way, the middle way of the things that liberate us and expand us, and the things, the discipline, the structure the return to the daily that helps us feel rooted and grounded. We need rules, and we also need philosophy that expands us. We need rules, and we also need experiences and opportunities that test those rules. So what I see here is a relationship where, yes, creating structure is necessary, but knowing when to expand that structure. It's like expanding the home, expanding the foundation, adding an expansion to it, maybe constructing it in a way that every experience you have adds another room to the home that you're building. Okay. And there's that push and pull with Jupiter and Saturn. That's how you get them to talk with each other. Because there's a part of you that wants to take life seriously, and there's a part of you that doesn't want to take life so seriously. So part of that opposition is discerning when to do either. And that's something that only you know. That's something only you can experience. Okay? So there's that Jupiter in Saturn opposition in your natal chart. Okay? I hope that explains things a little bit more. And I hope there is some of that quality in your chart, and we'll see here. I appreciate you for asking that question. Some comments coming in here. I love Daddy Saturn. He doesn't make it easy, but there is always a payoff. Absolutely. Daddy Saturn is so Mr. Miyagi. Absolutely. I want to be a philosopher, but I'm afraid they will institutionalize me. What is crazy? There's a reason why I go by Color Me Crazy. There's a reason why I go by that name. Because what really is sanity? Sanity is a choice. And if your sanity is insanity to other people, but your sanity helps you feel connected to life and its mysteries, then fuck it, all the greatest philosophers probably sounded insane to people. And there's a reason why we keep picking up their output, their scriptures and their things, because there's universal truth. The things that we consider sane today were once upon a time insane. So there is a lot more to it. I want to be a philosopher. Yep, I got that. What is a good ritual for tonight? I will get to that. What about the more recent shifts in Saturn and Uranus? Perfection. I will talk about that as well. P.S. guys, if y'all have personal questions about your chart too, and I don't get to your question, you can book a one-on-one reading with me. That's linked in my bio. You can book also a 15-minute little mini session here that happens on live as well. Kahuna Scopes, my partner, DJ, is not just trying to haphazardly sell you something. This is my work, y'all. This is what I do. So there isn't a quality here that, yes, I want to be resourceful and want to answer all your questions as well. And sometimes, there is an energy to that. And sometimes money is an exchange of that energy, so I can keep doing this work in accessible ways. So yeah, in regards to my partner trying to sell you on something, I would intuit it as he's celebrating my gifts, and you can look at the link in my bio and look at all the many ways in which accessibility is in there. So I try my best to make my offerings accessible and to feel integrous with the work that I do. But yeah, this is what we do. This is what we do. This is how we do it. So I'm not ashamed of what we do and how we contribute. Anyways, let's go back into questions. In regards to this question from Pluto Alchemy on Instagram, what is your method of doing birth charts for people who don't know their birth time? P.S. You are my fave. So there is a process. If you don't know your birth time, there is a process to all of this called rectification, rectifying your chart. Okay. And it's something that I'm not well versed. And it's something that I'm not there yet. But as an astrologer, and what I do, if I don't know your birth time, we usually start with a noon chart, understanding that your birth time and its accuracy predominantly affects your rising sign and the planetary positions, okay? So your rising sign is what's most effective with that. Even if you don't know your birth time, there's still so much in your chart that we can work with. There's still your north and south node, which is the axis of karma and dharma, really important. There's still your sun sign. There's still all your planetary positions. Even if they're not in their right houses, we can still work with the actual planet sign. We can still work with your Saturn. We can still work with your Pluto. We can still work with your Jupiter. We can still work with your Mercury. So there's that. Now, if you have a ballpark range of what time you were born, we can play around with that. And then we can ask some questions like, do you identify more with this, or do you identify with more of this? Where do you fall in more resonance? And we can kind of rectify your chart and find out what your rising sign is. But ultimately, if you're the person who doesn't know their exact birth time, trust that there's still a lot of astrology that we can work with. There's still a lot of archetypal energy we can work with. You don't need an exact birth time. You can spend lifetimes working with just your north and south node, and that's all you need. And for north and south node, I just need to know your birthday. I just need to know your birthday, and that's it. So as an evolutionary astrologer trained in working with nodes, that's where a lot of my focus and the concentration of my energy goes. So there's nothing wrong. There's still a lot of value you can get from looking at your chart, even if your rising sign is not accurate. And you can still work with planetary placements. You can still work with aspects as well. So a lot to work with. That's how I deal with someone's birth chart who doesn't know their time. We'll probably mostly focus on north and south node. We'll focus on the moon. We'll focus on the sun, Pluto, Saturn, absolutely. We'll focus on Chiron, Neptune, Uranus, Venus. Like, there's still a lot to work with, you see? So it really, really all depends. Yeah, what a partner. Yeah, I love my baby. DJ, I love you. He's in the house, and I love that he promotes me and celebrates me. There ain't no shame in that. It's a beautiful gift to have. So, yeah. So there is that. Let's go back and look at some questions as well. Oh, amazing. I'm gonna go back just a little bit to look at these questions. Let's see. Yay. What do you think? What about what about Pluto? So we got a lot of Pluto questions in the house. Pluto in Libra, Pluto in Virgo. Again, we're looking at generation defining placements. We're looking at how that defines, and we're really looking at the shadow of whatever that archetype is. So with Pluto in Virgo, we're looking at the shadow of feeling like you got to fix things, and also the shadow of looking at what's wrong. You look at the Pluto and Virgo generation, they were born during the counterculture movement. They were born during a time where things were changing, and there was a lot of like earth love, flower child energy, which I think Virgo could really thrive in. And there was a lot of, pointing out at the things that are wrong. There was a lot of questions of service and what service looks like and how to be of service. So Pluto and Virgo generation, that whole culture is really about redefining those terms and conditions of service, to think of not only yourself, right? To think outside of just yourself. If you have Pluto and Virgo in the 5th house, we're looking at creatively being of service in ways where your creativity, your art, and in that, the only way you get that Pluto in Virgo placement to do its mission is to confront all the many ways you judge yourself. That's very Virgo. It's the judging of oneself, and the judging of others is typically a reflection of how much we criticize and judge oneself. So I would say there's a lot of expansion and growth in you curiously creating and expanding in that way. The 5th house is also the house of children. It's the house of baby making. It's the house of romance. I would say in this, Virgo might have too high of a standard of perfection of what creativity, romance, children looks like. There might be a little bit of a helicopter parent energy there. And in that, we gotta just exhale a little bit and discern that, yes, we want our children to do better and be better. We personally want to do better and be better. But when that comes at like a kind of self-inflicting harm, feeling as though that something is wrong with us incessantly, or that something is wrong with this world incessantly, then that's what Pluto and Virgo is here to remind us. That there's a way to call in growth. And we got to really reckon with how much we call out in others and how much we should point that finger back at ourselves. That's the Pluto and Virgo medicine. All right. So that's Pluto and Virgo, 5th house, at least what I'm interpreting. Really amazing. What does it mean that my North Node and rising sign are the same? It means that your North Node and yourself are deeply connected with one another. That to probably get to that North Node, your quickest North Node access is by really listening to how other people perceive you. When you ask someone, tell me about this person, about yourself. Let's say a stranger runs up to one of your close friends, someone you really love and cherish, and they were to ask that person, like, what are your favorite things about this person? Whatever they end up saying about you is your rising sign. Is your rising sign. Is you in very many ways. Your rising sign steers the ship of your entire chart subconsciously. They're the initial interactions that shape the subconscious. So whatever that is, whatever that statement is that comes out of that person is closer to who you are. Okay? And I would say your North Node here is motivating you to be closer to that feeling of just like, yeah, I like this about me. Sun sign is ego self, but rising sign is true self, probably. If we were to remove the ego, what would be left is that rising sign. And for you, it would be that rising sign in that North Node. Okay? So you came into this world with a North Node here to really deeply excavate a sense of self. A sense of self. A sense of who you are. You came into this world to say me. And a clue as to what color or shape that me is your rising sign. Your rising sign is pointing you toward that. Okay? That is the T. That is the T for you. Now, I want to pivot a little bit here from questions to, I'm going to drink some water because I've been talking a lot. About to talk a lot more. I want to pivot here from questions to some rituals to consider for full moon in Scorpio. So, full moon Scorpio. Any full moon, archetypally, culturally, ancestrally, if you look at the feminine body and moon cycles as well, we're looking at shedding, giving birth, release. The full moon is the moon at its peak fullness, full belly, pregnant, contractions, and gotta let go of something here, right? And it's also an accumulation of energy from the month, from the whole lunar cycle, from that new moon, the seed we planted, to now. Now, when we look at full moons, it's beneficial to look at the new moon we planted a seed in. This last new moon was all about Aries, new moon in Aries, right? It happened on my birthday, which is great. April 17th, that was the last new moon. And new moon in Aries, we were planting seeds of courage, planting seeds of bravery. Thank you, friends, for donating on YouTube. I appreciate you. I love you. Love you, Lisa. So new moon, planting seeds of courage, planting seeds of bravery, planting seeds of, okay, I want to start again. I want to start new. And for many people, it was very exciting. It was like, yeah, cool. I'm ready to start again. I'm ready to do a new thing. And now through that new moon, through that new seed being planted, where are we now? Have we done the thing? Have we started the thing? Have we really pushed forward? Have we began what we planted in that Aries new moon or full moon in Scorpio? Are there some skeletons in the closet that might be getting in the way of us actually taking action? That is what this full moon moment is all about. Looking at the skeletons in the closet and going, this one works, this one doesn't work, this one's great, this one's not so great. I feel really wounded with this story still, and every time I tell the story, it opens the wound. Is there a new way to reframe the story so I can tap into that bravery, so I can tap into that courage? How can I reframe the story around this wound so that it doesn't limit the action that this Aries energy is motivating me toward? So a good ritual for you for this Scorpio new full moon is to look at those skeletons in the closet, baby. What's in there? Can we dust them? Can we shake them bones? Those crusty and dusty skeletons, can we shake it out? Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Ooh, wow. So that is the ritual, bringing the dead elephant to the surface, looking that dead, scary, goblin-y, ghoul elephant, whatever it is. I don't know why I'm going with elephant, but maybe the elephant is a zombie elephant. Looking at the zombie elephant in the room and going, you will not fucking get the best of me. I reclaim my power. I reclaim my energy. I reclaim my resources. I reclaim the energy of these swords that are piercing through my heart, the fears that are limiting my expansion. I reclaiming my time, reclaiming my energy, reclaiming my power, reclaiming my story, reclaiming my narrative. That is Scorpio energy. It's taking whatever pain that has been either consciously or unconsciously inflicted on you and going, I will have the last word. It's really the sign of revenge, and not revenge in the sense of like, I'm gonna go after these people who betrayed me. I'm gonna cast some black magic spells and hexes on these bad people. That's not the sort of revenge we're talking about. At the highest octave of Scorpio, we're looking at the best form of revenge is living your life in full fearlessness in spite of those wounds that were inflicted on you. It's to look at fear dead in the eyes and say, you don't scare me anymore. Now with the full moon, we're looking at a readiness to release that. We have to. We gotta purge it. We are entering an era that's going to test our courage, test our bravery, test our impulse, test our action, and for good reason. And we can't bring that baggage with us, at least not through the framework of victimhood. At least not through the lens of, oh, but this is why I can't. And let me tell you, we're not scapegoating, we're not bypassing, we're not trying to, not look at the situation. Accountability is necessary and real. Sure, there's a time and place for all of it. But there comes a point in time where we have to reclaim the spells and break those spells that were inflicted on us. And that's why the archetype of Scorpio is attributed to occult and magic and voodoo and hoodoo and all these sort of spiritual modalities that are about reclamation of power and energy. Now, the highest octave of Scorpio, when we really get there, is to look at yourself as the spell breaker. You don't need a ritual. You don't need a sacrifice. You don't need any of those modalities to reclaim your worth. You don't need it. All you need is intent. You don't even need a ritual for this full moon of like burning bones and burning things to reclaim. If that works, if the intent behind that, if the drama of it all helps you subconsciously release them damn bones from the closet, then great, awesome, good on you. You're good for it. But if we could just really root in the, you know what? I fucking had it. I've fucking had it with the story, the grip of this energy has on my life. I'm done with it. And when you say you're done from a place of full fucking fed upness, that's why, you know, Aries, god of war, Scorpio, goddess of war. I'm done. It's dark feminine energy. I'm fucking done. And when you're done, you're done. And nobody can get in your way. Nobody will get in your way. There is no, like, there isn't another powerful spell. There isn't a spell more powerful than you going enough and meaning it. Enough. Full stop. And that's it. You broke the spell. You broke the curse. You released the shadows. You released the demons. You released them from maybe being so loud in your life. At least they've maybe shrunk in size. But they will not get the best of you. They can't get the best of you. That is the ritual for this lunation. It doesn't have to be some dramatic thing. It can be you sitting with the reality of what is, the narrative of these stories, and going, enough. I'm done. I'm done with you. And I don't owe you an explanation. I don't owe you some letter, some grand apology. I don't even need your apology. Because the harm that was inflicted on you is none of your business, had nothing to do with you and everything to do with the shittiness of those who inflicted harm. That is it. That's the ritual. There are so many skeletons coming out of the closet these days. In my personal life, so much to shake off. Yes, I've been saying fuck you to the skeletons and taking back who I am by seeing the truth of the wounds. Absolutely. Well, heck, seems I'm tuned into the energy of this full moon. Yeah, Scorpio is my moon sign too. Yeah, it's shadow work. Any Scorpio moon is true shadow work. And shadow work, let me tell you, I think the spiritual spaces, actually, I don't want to do that. See, I caught myself going, I think this is what they're doing. Very wounded Scorpio energy. What's in alignment with me? This is what I'm practicing now with Uranus and Gemini, is just bringing more nuance to the conversation. What's in alignment for me, what I found works for me, is not this sort of shadow work that involves like, oh my God, I need to hold all of this. Hell, I don't even need to go to the past. I don't need to trauma bait myself. I don't need to re-experience the wound and the trauma or the things, the pain inflicted on me to heal it. The most radical shadow work is knowing that there's something in you and doing the opposite to heal it. Knowing that there is a heaviness and going toward the extreme and showing yourself that you will not be bested by your wounds, by your pain. They will not get the best of you. We are way more resilient than we think we are. The phrase, it was a viral thing, like I survived 100 and 10% of my worst days, I can survive this one. And you will. We have. You think this is traumatic? The reality we're living in is traumatic? This is nothing in comparison to what generations had to go through before us. The struggle generations had to go through before us. This is nothing. And if anything, what we carry, this energy, the wounds, is an inheritance of a long lineage of ancestors and past lives, energy that has come before us. And the most radical, shadow worky way we can honor that lineage is by breaking the chains right now and going, fuck it, I'm not gonna do it like you guys. And I'm gonna show you just how beautiful life can be. I'm gonna show you just how wonderful, how expansive, how epic it can all be. I'm not gonna let that lineage be the thing that perpetuates the cycle. I'm gonna use it as a means of liberating me. Thank you for struggling. Thank you for being that voice, because it's given me all of this beautiful abundance and resource that I have access to. And that right there is the medicine. That is Scorpio. It's alchemy. Looking at the piece of coal and turning it into a diamond. And what turns that piece of coal, that lump of coal, into a diamond? What turns it into a diamond? Pop quiz. What turns that lump of coal into a diamond? Pressure. Pressure. At some point, you have to fight back. At some point, you have to fight back. And that's what Scorpio carries. Okay? Beautiful. Yeah. All right, friends, let's go ahead and move on to personal readings. We finally made it. Wow, that was like an hour and some change well spent. First up on the list, we're going to do some personal chart readings here now. We have Yvonne. So wherever you are, Yvonne, either on YouTube or on Instagram, just go ahead and type in the chat, I'm ready, I'm here. And that way I know. In the meantime, I am going to pull up your chart so we can see what's going on here. And also tell my baby love that I love him. Okay, I'm back. Okay, here we go.
This man is amazing.
Yee, this is my baby.
So much love.
Thank you, my love. Love you. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, Yvonne, let's get you going, baby. So, and okay, Also, friends, if you would like one of these mini readings, again, we're booked up today. I do these shows twice a week now, every Thursday, every Saturday. Thursdays are 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And on Saturdays, it's at 11 or 10. Is it 10? I think it's 10. Yes. hold on, it's right here. Yeah, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which would be 1 p.m. Eastern. So 2 time slots, all of that fun stuff. If you would like one, we're booked up already for Thursday and Saturday, but if you would like a reading for the future, you should book in advance. That way I can read your astrologies. And I also do one-on-one readings where it's an hour-long deep dive, which is fun. I love those. Right now I'm booked up all the way through June, I think. But actually, I'm starting to book June. Here we go. Let's see here, Yvonne. Let me read your notes here real quick, love. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I always love when the notes are like, just whatever you say, whatever you think. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Here it is. Ding, 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 ding. You know, we all deserve to see happy demonstrations and healthy demonstrations of love and support. All of us. Okay, Yvonne, this message is for you, and this message is for anybody else who probably has some of these placements, you know? This is why you stick around for the personal readings, because probably there's some similarity here, okay? So, in regards to voice, in regards to passion, right? All of that fun stuff. There's one main signature this year that I want you to start paying attention to. Beginning July, Jupiter will be entering Leo. I'm going to illustrate to you by pulling up a transit bi-wheel. That way you can see what I'm seeing. So I'm going to do July, bam, bam, cast chart. So bam, here we go. On the outside are transits, and on the inside is your birth chart, okay? So Jupiter will be entering Leo in July, and eventually it's going to start hitting your Jupiter here natally, which is in Leo as well. So congratulations, you're going through a Jupiter return, baby. You're going through a Jupiter return, which is amazing. I love Jupiter returns. I just had my Jupiter return. I'm still technically in it, but you know, my Jupiter is in Cancer natally, and it's really opened doors and blessings in some beautiful ways. Now through Cancer, we're looking at doors opening through our heart, through care, through love, which is very much Cancer. And they absolutely have. When I found that being of service in this way, in a way that I love, has opened so many beautiful doors for me. I'm so grateful for it. Now, Jupiter in Leo is different. We're talking about doors opening through play, through joy, through courage as well, in being seen, in being witnessed. And there's an evolutionary lesson here for this Jupiter return of really coming out of the closet, you know, really coming out on stage. When we're looking at Leo, we're looking at the archetype, the drama of just like, look at me, do you see me, right? And in the process of that, we either get some applause, which is like, yay, we see you, we love you. Or maybe we get a couple of rotten tomatoes thrown at us. And what does that do to the self? What does validation do to self? That is what we're looking at with Leo. Validation can be amazing in the sense that it gives us an idea of the people we want to belong to. It gives us that sense of like, whoa, I love these people and I love how witnessed I am. Or if we are maybe get rejected, we will contort ourselves to fit a certain box. We will contort ourselves to be seen in a certain way. Now, Jupiter in Leo typically thrives in just like authenticity, just being authentic. When we are authentic, doors open. Depending on the house Leo is in, will tell you the arena or the stage where that where that Leo archetype is going to be seen and witnessed. And for you, natally in your birth chart, Jupiter is in the 12th house of solitude. 12th house of solitude. 12th house of spirituality, 12th house of the arena and the area of what lives beyond physical space and reality. And I think there is a deeply spiritual, ancestral reclamation of joy that Jupiter in Leo wants you to experience. And that isn't something you're going to get from others validating you. That is only something you will receive when you validate yourself. I would say here with Jupiter in Leo, it would be worth exploring creativity, art, expression, and solitude. Jupiter in Leo is going to bring an almost Renaissance era to your life, has the capacity to, if you choose to walk through that door, if you choose to go, you know what? I'm going to play with my inner child. I'm going to play with the spirit of my inner child. I'm going to remind my inner child that joy is possible, that play is possible, pleasure is possible, romance is possible. Jupiter in Leo is going to be that reminder that it's time to spice up our lives. And the reason why this is necessary is to bring the other part of the conversation that already lives with you, which is that of Virgo rising. You're really good at fixing, probably really good at fixing other people's problems. And it's time to, do you in that 12th house territory. We also have the moon in Aries. So there's a lot of shadow that we see. There's conflict here in that 8th house territory, 8th house of fear, 8th house of inheritance, 8th house of shadow. And this moon in Aries is there's a spiciness here. On top of all of that, you're a love to community, 11th house Cancer. So your chosen family, the people you belong to, really, really matter. And it's beautiful that you have that love for those people and you show it beautifully. I'm absolutely sure of it. But what about you? What about you? What makes you alive? What makes you come online in this 11th house, which is packed? We have a stellium here. We have South Node in Cancer. We have Chiron in Cancer, which amplify the shadow of Cancer, which is, what can I do for you? 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 And caring and caring and caring and caring and giving and giving and giving to others, because people are of need. People are wanting of you to a point where you're not doing enough for yourself. Okay? Now, the medicine of the South Node in Cancer is North Node in Capricorn, which is to do the day in, day out work, to do the hard thing, to build discipline. The house will tell you the arena through which we're building discipline around, and it's discipline in that 5th house of creativity. It's the Leo house, 5th house of pleasure, 5th house of joy, 5th house of play. So I think Capricorn here, and it's in a very soft daddy way, wants you to build a relationship with your creativity, with your expression, with your joy, in a way that can only come from this 12th house, joy, Jupiter, Leo territory. I would say here with Saturn also in this 5th house of creativity and joy and expression, Saturn here wants you to earn your point of view, earn your perspective, to trust your perspective. You are on the outside looking in. So when you think of the COVID era, the pandemic era, and what came through you during that first Saturn return, what was coming online for you? Because we were very much in 12th house, maybe 12th house solitude territory. Talk about lockdown. And that should have been a place that all this Leo energy thrived. I'm sure in that solitude, maybe some Aquarian forward thinking, on the outside looking in, collectivism themes were coming online. And so much of your creativity wants to have the collective in mind. I would say here, with all this 5th house energy, opposite all of your 11th house energy, one of the most beautiful gifts you can contribute to your community is your creativity, is your expression, not measured by your output, how much you do for these people, more so measured by, hey, I created this thing that I really, really love, and I'm so excited to share it with you all. And that is what feels good. We came into this world, Capricorn, how the sign of legacy. We came into this world to build a creative legacy of some sort. And that means day in, day out, playing with the muses. Day in, day out, showing up to the canvas and painting to it. Like every single day, we are mastering Capricorn, sign of mastery. We are mastering expression and creativity. And you will get the recognition. It will probably come a little bit later in life. That is such a Capricorn signature. Also with Saturn in Aquarius, Saturn being that planet of maturity. Yeah, we got some years, we got some time to put in. So if you want to tap into your voice and your creativity and your expression and your artistry, we got to put in the time now while we have it every day. All of that South Node Cancer energy is going to be like, but I don't feel like it. I have still so much to do. People are relying on me and depending on me and I'm like, It's like, no ma'am, no ham, no turkey. That is not what we're doing here. We are, boom, showing up to the craft. 5th house, showing up to the craft every day. Whatever your emotions are saying why you can't, not true. Not true. You want to belong to a community? Contribute your creativity, contribute your voice, contribute your expression, contribute your vision. That is the greatest gift you can offer. Okay? That is you. Thank you so much, love. Thank you so much, Yvonne, for your contributions and for sitting with me on this. Lots of really beautiful doors opening. You're going to have Jupiter return there, like really, really helping you, which is great. So just surrender here to the beautiful expansion that Leo is pointing you toward, which is to be seen, to be visible. But you got to give yourself those opportunities to see yourself. Okay? To see yourself. Thank you, love. I appreciate you. Next up on the list, we have Roy. Roy, where you at? Roy, where you at? Roy, where you at? Are you on Instagram or on YouTube? Go ahead and just let me know. Did I spell that right? All right. So for Roy, awesome. Thank you, love. Roy, I just want to confirm birth location because I'm trying to pull it up here in my software. And I just want to make sure I get it right. Hold on. I see Lebanon. But the location is not showing up. Is it known as anything else, Roy? Is it spelled differently? Something that I'm missing because it's not showing up in my software. Sometimes in other countries there's certain provinces or certain aspects that So just waiting for your response and then we'll get your reading going. Yeah, put it in. Oh, there we go. I found you. I found you. I got it. Yeah. Thank you, love. I think I got it now. Yay. Okay, cool, love. Let's go ahead and show you your chart. Great. Just reading your notes here real quick. Do. Very tiny indeed. But yeah. Middle East in the house. Love it. I love this. This is great. Okay, so I love this because it seems like we're wanting to talk. We're wanting to talk Gemini, which is great because you're a Gemini sun. You also have Venus in Gemini. You have Mercury in Gemini, which is great. And there is something about Uranus and Gemini. I'm going to do the transit by wheel here so you can see what I'm seeing here. I love that we have Venus and Gemini right now as well. So first, I want to talk about here the Gemini archetype. Gemini is really about perception. It's about looking at perception and having a conversation around the terms and conditions of the rules that we may agree to that help build perception or create divide. And where Gemini really thrives is questioning reality. And let me tell you, all of this Uranus and Gemini energy, it's not hitting natally anything yet, but when it does, we're going to be really looking at shadow in some very real, important ways. 8th house of shadow, 8th house of fear, 8th house of secrets, 8th house of the skeletons that we keep in the closet. And I think Uranus in many ways is here to really shake those bones so you can really look at it. Now, this is a place I would say with Sun in Gemini and Venus in Gemini as well, a place that we are already comfortable in. There is this ability for you to look at what lingers that people aren't really looking at, and you want to talk about it. You're thriving to talk about it. You know, you are wanting to talk about and go deep with other people. Now, Uranus here wants you to innovate how we get to the depths. And the reason why I keep mentioning this is I'm looking at your North Node, which is in the Gemini house. It's in Capricorn, in the Gemini house down here, which tells me that North Node legacy, again, we're looking at North Node Capricorn again. Last reading, North Node Capricorn. I love the synchronicity of that. We're looking at building a legacy with communication, how we speak, how we express. And North Node Capricorn here says, we have a TED Talk to deliver. Dare I say, we have a world to build here with our words, with our language, with our speech, with our questions. That is what Capricorn wants to do. Capricorn wants to unearth and build through that Gemini energy of being able to look at shadow. So we're looking at shadow, we're questioning shadow, we're innovating shadow, and then using the raw materials of that to build something new, to deliver a framework. All right. So in that, I'm wondering, what is that TED Talk? What is that TED Talk? What do we have to deliver in this lifetime? What world do we want to build? And I think there's a beautiful quality here with Gemini because it's also very playful. It's very childish. It's very trickster energy. And that's why people, I think, get uncomfortable with Gemini, because there's a quality to them that it's just like, people love boxes, right? They're just like, pick a side. And Gemini's like, we'll try on another side just for fun and shits and giggles. You know, Gemini would just be like, we'll play devil's advocate, not because they wholeheartedly believe in what they're devil's advocating, but because they want others to really look at their contradiction, to look at paradox, right? So North Node Capricorn here, I'm telling you, this is going to be an amazing time with Uranus and Gemini up here in the 8th house to write something, to build something, to create a book, a framework, to be seen in that, and to build a legacy from that place. And we look at what's aspecting here, this Uranus Gemini transit currently, we're looking at 5th house of creativity. What is that dream? You know, when you dream of a new world, what does it look like? And how can we use our questions, our natural charismatic skills, to make that dream a reality? I think you really know here, especially as Virgo South Node, transiting Virgo South Node in that 11th house, has been showing you what community isn't. And the North Node here in Pisces is daring you to dream. Daring you to dream of a world that you absolutely have in your chart to create. But you have to create it. You create it through your connections, your collaborations, your conversations, all of that. You know what it's not. Thank you, South Node in Virgo right now, transiting South Node in Virgo. You know what it's not. But now we got to trust in collectivism. We got to trust in that Aquarian vision. All right. You have all this Uranus energy right now, this beautiful trine, this beautiful sextile over here with Aquarius and with Aries, supportive energy in your foundation. Again, a very like, what are we building? What home are we building brick by brick? Over here in your 6th house of service with Aries here, which is like, great. When you think of yourself as a spiritual warrior, what does that look like, and how does it serve the greater good? Uranus and Gemini is here to help you think outside the box. I wouldn't be surprised if some data downloads are already coming through with Uranus and Gemini. But on top of all of that, reminder that Uranus and Gemini takes time. It takes time. We're talking about 7 years of Uranus and Gemini. So there is, I know Gemini wants to get there and wants to get there fast. Talk about air, mutable air, which is just like, what's this? Oh my God. And like, you know, boredom is absolutely your kryptonite. But we're not getting there anytime soon. If we want to accelerate the Uranus Gemini message, then first we got to really know creatively, in a very dreamy way, what world we want to build. Then we have to look at our foundation, our emotional foundation, our family, as like, cool, as that litmus test as to whether we're close to that world or far away from it. And also test the limits of our courage here with Aries in that 6th house of service, in the sense of like, how do we charge forward here? In what ways am I being too agreeable? Am I being too agreeable here? Am I really pushing the limits here? Am I really testing the limits of my courage? When you think of yourself as a superhero, or maybe like a superhero who looks like a villain on the outside, like a mischievous little villain in that 8th house territory with Gemini. You know, what does that look like? Really tapping into your inner fool archetype, the inner fool, the inner trickster. You know, Loki is not like the bad guy by any means. And I look at someone who has all of this Gemini energy up here with also Mercury and Gemini here in the ninth house of belief and meaning making as well. Like, I just see the workings of like, yeah, that low-key energy really coming online to disrupt in ways that can help us build whatever that new world is. Okay. But we got to also really check the South Node in Cancer here, which is like feeling a lot. Sometimes feeling to the point of not wanting to. I think ultimately your heart really just wants to belong, really wants love, right? That is that South Node, Cancer. And we equate love and care with how much we do for others, right? It's just like putting other people first is that South Node, Cancer territory. But I think so much of that North Node in Capricorn is going, hold on. When we think of putting others first, what are the expectations? What are the boundaries? What are the rules? If we really want to embody love, then we really got to know where we're at. Where are those leaks? Where are those cracks? And how can we build a more integrous home world with our words, with our actions, day in, day out? All right? So that's what I see for you, Roy. Thank you so much, friend. Thank you for your contributions. Uranus and Gemini is going to be an exciting time for you, but we got some time. We got some time before Uranus and Gemini really starts hitting those nodal placements. Those planetary placements like your Sun and Venus, I think right now is very much the prologue to a much deeper conversation that is going to get unearthed. So there's that for you as well. Yay! Amazing! I love it. So that's what I have for you, Roy. Out of curiosity, is either Leah or Lee in the house? Leah Harris? If you are here, let me know. I know you booked your reading for a little bit later, but if you're in the house right now, I can get to your reading a little bit sooner. So let me know. Let me know. Whoa, 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 whoa. Dee-dee-dee. Eric, what's up, Eric? You're welcome, Roy. Thank you for receiving this storytelling. That is astrology, baby. It is storytelling. That's what it's used for. How do we tell a story, and how do we feel or see ourselves in that story? Or not? Resonates well in my body. Yeah, I love it. Yay, neighbors. Neighborly love. All right. Maybe Leia is not available, but we still have a little bit. Leia's reading's at 6, so I'm curious. Whoever posts the first question right now, I'm gonna answer it. Whoever posts the first question right now, I will answer it. It can be about anything astrologically related. I won't have time to put in another chart or anything, but if you would like for me to elaborate something astrologically for you, I'm happy to do so. Rachel, if you would like a reading, you can use the link in my bio. If you're watching on Instagram, there's a link in the description below if you'd like to book in the future, but we're booked up for today, loves. Booked up for today. I also do one-on-one readings. Oh, thank you, Eric. Love you, buddy. Love yous. What is your favorite color? I love that question. I don't know. That's a hard one because I love all colors. There's a reason why. Um, there's a reason why I go by Color Me Crazy. I love them all. I think I work with colors in different ways. I would say in this chapter of my life, it's probably red. It's probably red. And mostly because there's a lot of that attributed to my partner. His favorite color is red, and in a very Libra rising way. Like, I love seeing myself in others. I have my little red headphones, and I love red. I think it's a very red time. Red, color of action, color of passion. It's also in Asian cultures, it's the color of prosperity as well. It's the color of the life force that courses through our veins. So I like red. I don't look at red and think anger. I look at red and I think of the heart. I think of love. I think of roses. Yeah. I think of a lot of beautiful things. I think of passion. It's great. There's a lot of red in this chapter of my life. Red is awake. I like that. Red is awake. It's lively. Absolutely. Yeah, this is very much a red chapter. I had a yellow chapter when I was living in New York, when I painted my wall yellow. And it was like very much an era of my life where I was trying to tap into joy. I was trying to tap into the sun, like sunflowers. And there was a time during Color Me Crazy when I was hopping on live, and the community that I created and that we created, they would send me yellow hearts because that was the chapter I was in. And then I had my green era. Definitely had a green phase where it was about love and rootedness as well, like rooting, grounding. I was doing a lot of yoga, doing a lot of stretching, all the green things, the tree things. Yeah. So I'd say this chapter, it's definitely red. Definitely red. What about y'all? What color chapter are you in right now? What's your favorite color for this chapter? Yeah. What about you? Yeah, I had a gold chapter too. I love that. I was thinking red before you said it, since your sun is in Aries, yeah. And your moon, yeah. Mars rule, baby. Green feels like balance. Only had a black era color. I love that. Blue. Our feelings, our emotions. Understanding the tenderness of that emotional life, the ins and outs of it. Collecting emotional data, making amends with the heart. Blue. It's beautiful. I love blue. Red and gold combo. I love that. I love that we're creatively working with it. Ooh, red shifting to orange. Ombre. It's the passion into the action, right? Orange. That solar plexus, that sacral energy, like rising. It's this. It's like creating. It's like passion, drive, and an action. I love that. Neon Lila. Ooh. What does Neon Lila, how does that feel for you? When you think of Neon Lila, Neon Lila, what does that look like for you? How do you experience that color? I love this conversation. Really great question, friends. Red and gold combo, dark purple for me right now. Ooh, intuition, spirituality, very Pisces territory. I like that. Navy blue. You know, navy blue. I don't know if y'all have watched Color Theory. It's this stand-up by homeboy who did Problemistas. He's really funny. He's an Aquarius, and he did this whole stand-up called Color Theory, and navy blue was a color, and his metaphor of navy blue was systems, structures, boxes. He attributed navy blue to bureaucracy and politics. I wonder if your experience of navy blue is the same. That's why I ask. Yeah, it's wonderful. Red is beautiful, also blue. Oh, that's been a quiet awakening inside I'm moving through. Yeah, that's awesome, baby. It's wonderful witnessing it as well. What else we got here? Love the black era. Definitely black era. Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. LJ major. If you're looking for, I saw your comment. I want you to know I didn't ignore it. If you're looking for your reading that I did during my birthday, that April 17th reading, yours, if you go to my channel on YouTube, all of these lives are posted on there. You'll have to go to lives though, and then look for the date. You'll find the reading in there, okay? And that applies to anybody who received a reading from me today, or who wants to go back and listen to anybody else's or any of the other astrology questions I answered. All of these readings are posted there. So it's all on my YouTube channel. Go to view videos and tap on live and you'll find it there. Iridescent, yeah. Yellow, I like yellow. Yellow era is nice. Like a bee, yeah, abundance. I feel like my aura is a light turquoise. Ooh, how does that make you feel, Breezy? When you think of a light turquoise, how does that feel? I love it. You checked recently and it wasn't there. Hold on. Thank you for letting me know, friend. I am gonna check myself. And in the meantime, also, if Leah Harris, if you are here, or Lee Harris, apologies if I'm butchering your name. These are scheduled. History. Hold please, everyone. I am just trying to help out a friend who's looking for their reading. It should have posted. I'm looking at all the other ones. This is live now. Videos. Whoa. Whoa, you're absolutely right, friend. Why didn't it post? Huh. Curious. There's that one. There's that one. Where did it stop? The only one not up here is my birthday one. You're absolutely right. El Major. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I don't have the recording of it. I hate to discourage you. But yeah, I don't see it on here. There must be some little glitch or something. I'm curious why it didn't. We'll find out. Hopefully this one posts. Maybe there was something glitchy in the servers, but I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it anywhere. Sorry about that, friend. Leia, are you in the house, love? No, you're not. You're not early, love. Yeah, somebody's like, I must be here early because usually there's thousands of people in this room. I mean, it's been different on Instagram. I used to have a lot of readings. I used to have a lot more people in the space, but for some reason on Instagram, it's not pushing. It's not, people have the notification bells, and it's still not, they're still not getting the notification when I'm on live. So I can be conspiracy theory and be like, oh, content suppression. Content suppression, but that's not, I don't know. I just say yes to the people who do show up, and I love that you're here, even if there's not 1,000 people in here. I'm grateful that you are, and that's what's most important. I still get to do this, and I'm still having a great time, whether I'm with 10 people chilling in my living room or 1,000 in an arena somewhere. Y'all are here, and that's a gift. And you know, in many ways, I think that's my North Node in Aquarius talking. My South Node is in Leo. So for a while, when I first started this content creation game, I would get so wrapped up in analytics and just like, I want to be, just like, validate me, see me, and then I know I'm worthy. Very South Node Leo. And now I'm just like, I don't care who fucking sees me. I just care that the right people see me, and the people who really fuck with me see me. Before, you know, taking my time with all this, and just like, yeah, Groovy Girl remembers the Puerto Rico days. Yeah, it brings us closer. All right, love. So for you, yeah, you're here, career, feeling called to make a leap into the unknown. Yes! I love this for you because I have your chart here. And of course, it's all about the unknown for you this lifetime. All right, friend, here we go. You want to talk about the unknown? Well, this is your access. South Node Taurus in the first house. So we get comfortable, baby. We get comfortable. I would say in a past life, we were so comfortable to the point where our life probably lacked risk and aliveness. There was, sure, we had a nice home, we had a nice family, we have into the unknown. But that's the life this time. It's the North Node in Scorpio. North Node in Scorpio. We've been comfortable. And now in this lifetime, you said, I want to feel alive. I want to feel alive. I want to feel the energy of risk coming online. I want to risk something, and not risk something in a way that'll hurt you or cause damage. We're not looking at being reckless here, but to have a healthy, conscious relationship with risk, with love, with beauty, with life, with all of those beautiful energies that make this feel so alive and online. I would say your comfort zone is being with yourself. It's like me, myself, and I. You are good company with you. But there is this desire here with the North Node in Scorpio to deeply and psychologically, spiritually enmesh yourself with a partner. To have that real type of love. And sure, in that love, there will be material gain and there'll be comfort. There's all of that. But where's the spice in your life? And it's a question worth exploring here. Where's the spice in your life? Where's that love? Who is that love? And you might be in a relationship or a partnership right now, And if you are, it might be worth asking, cool, in this chapter of our relationship, what is being asked to change? How have we grown? How have we shifted? And how can we also take this relationship to the next level? Now, if you don't have a relationship, if you're not in a committed partnership or anything like that, then it might be worth exploring what partnership looks like, what love looks like. And with Scorpio in the 7th house, North Node Scorpio, ooh, baby, we doing the freaky deaky. We want a love that is truly vulnerable, truly naked, truly real. It's not just like passion or, recklessness that lives in that. It's like, I want to see and experience the depths of your soul. And there's a beauty to that. To risk the vulnerability and the comfort that, you thrive in. 1st house, South Node Taurus. I'm good. Don't need it. Uncomfortable. I don't want to be uncomfortable. But your North Node says being uncomfortable is the point. Because you've done comfortable. You've done comfort zone. What we haven't done enough is, ooh, let's get a little naughty. Let's get a little spicy. Let's hop on the back of a motorcycle with some stranger and just, yay! I want to feel on top of the world. I want to scream from the top of my lungs. I want to live. And life requires risk, uncertainty, vulnerability. Your North and South Node is that of going from the sturdy, stubborn bull to the goo in the chrysalis. Forever just like gooing it up in that chrysalis. And maybe a butterfly wing pops out. And it's like, oh, no, gonna go back into the chrysalis. There's still more here. 2 butterfly wings pop out. And maybe we never fully butterfly. But it's this experience of like popping out and going, okay, I missed something else. There's still more. And there's still more to your story, love. A lot more to your story. Where's the aliveness? Where is the passion? Where is the risk? And how can we point our energy in that direction? Okay? In that direction. I would say in your chart here as well, there's a lot of relationship energy. We also have Pluto in Libra. So you are the generation that saw a lot of divorce rates, saw a lot of moms steering away from those traditional Libra values of like, wives do this, husband to do that. And Pluto here kind of like shaking up all the rules and going, hey, are we really being real with one another? Are we really being in relationship with one another? Is 1 + 1 = 2, or is 1 - me = we? And that Pluto in Libra generation saw a lot of domestic abuse and violence, and they saw a lot of codependency growing up. And in that, they've either adopted that energy, attracted that energy in their life, to look at it and go, hold on, I have a desire to be in relationship, and I also have a desire to be myself in relationship as well. So that Pluto in Libra placement here, it's showing me that, yeah, relationship. On the other side of it all, we have Jupiter in Aries. We have Chiron in Aries here as well. We have all this me energy, and Taurus was like, nah, I'm good. I don't need you. But you do. Dare I say you do. You want. You want to want others. You want to trust others. And that is tough. That is tough sometimes because we're risking our heart being broken. We're risking betrayal, potential betrayal. And again, we're risking like being changed by how relationships inform us. But that's the point. That is the point. I would say here, your emotional foundation lives through that Leo lens. We're also Leo, right? So we love, and we love loudly, but perhaps we love loudly at a distance. Perhaps we love loudly with some suspicion. But what we're moving towards, it's loving loudly, period. And that's okay. It's beautiful. Your home is important to you. Your family is important to you. But what about those one-on-one connections? Do we feel really, really connected, or are we afraid of them? I would say when we have a family to channel all that energy into, there's a level of like, yeah, I feel seen here. You feel seen by your family. But do you feel seen in relationship? Do you feel seen in those one-on-one connections? How does that work for you? Risk. Do you feel alive? You said in your notes, ready for that Fool energy, ready to take a dip, to jump into the unknown, right? That is your North Node calling you. North Node is calling you and motivating you to go forward. Motivating you to expand. Pointing you toward change. And South Node in Taurus doesn't like that. Doesn't like change. Taurus doesn't like change. Why change when I'm comfortable? Why change when I'm good? Okay. You might be comfortable, but are you happy? You might be comfortable, but do you feel alive? You have a beautiful home, but does it activate you? You have a beautiful marriage from the outside that looks good on paper, but do you really feel seen and psychologically and spiritually connected to that person? And again, in relationships, we're looking at not only partners, marriage, we're looking at close friends, we're looking at collaborators, business relationships, all of that. And so much of this North Node in Scorpio says, I don't care, man, I want to feel alive. I want to feel alive. Okay? So listen to that impulse, listen to that energy. You know, all of this Jupiter, how you open doors is through Aries. So it's through the energy that's coming online when you're in solitude that's saying, I want to do me. I really want to do me. I want to do the brave thing. You want to open doors? You do the brave thing. You want opportunities and blessings and abundance? You do the brave thing. You go deep into the well of those fears, of those shadows, and you tame and conquer and slay all those dragons. That is what that 12th house energy is all about. It's bravely going into those fears and going, I'm not going to let you limit my life experience anymore. I'm going to have you expand me. I'm going to walk with you, fear. I'm going to laugh in the face of danger. Very Lion King reference, Simba, like, ha 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 ha. I laugh in the face of danger. And you do. Or maybe you don't right now because South Node in Taurus, but you should. It's worth exploring. Laughing in the face of danger. The adrenaline rush of it all. The adrenaline rush of watching a scary movie, something jump scares you. It's like, woo! Oh my God. But you're still alive. You're still alive. You're still here. And that's it. That's why we have fear. Fear is a reminder that we're alive. Of why we're alive. That's what fear is all about. It doesn't exist as something to go, okay, fear, you're telling me to stop, I stop. No, fear is there to be like, I bet you won't. You won't. That's fear. You won't. And you, with this North Node in Scorpio, is like, oh, I will. And I will have the last word, baby. I will. I will get what I want. I always get what I want. I always get the life experience that turns me on. And to experience that with a partner is the evolutionary leap year with the 7th house, right? To do that in relationship with someone who you're like, you're my person. This is like bungee jumping, holding hands with your soulmate, whoever that is, and going, Geronimo! That is you. That is North Node in Scorpio. And it's supposed to feel uncomfortable. North Node is not supposed to feel comfortable at all. It's supposed to feel like counterintuitive. And that's why every time we find ourselves in that North Node, it's like, whoa, this feels more aligned. This feels more like what I'm meant to do. Okay, so you're meant to change. And you're meant to change in relationship with people. Not because you can't decide who you are, but rather you're giving yourself an opportunity for the life experience to inform the emotional body and grow, to metamorphosize. That is you, baby. Yeah. That feeling of freedom, though. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, love, that's your reading for now. If you would like a one-on-one reading, I'm getting questions here about readings and what that looks like. So I have 2 options for readings. I have this, which happens live. It's like a 15-minute little deep dive where you ask a question and I'll pull up your chart and we'll pull up your chart. I don't share your birth information or details with anyone. It's hidden for a reason because that's yours, nobody else's business. If you would like a more personal reading and have like a more deep dive, I do one-on-one soul sessions, which go on for an hour. That's also linked to my bio. If you go to colormecrazy.world/info, you'll find all my offerings on there. So all these 15 minutes, they happen live. So that's worth looking into. And yeah, these replays are posted on YouTube. So if you want to go back and rewatch, you can see them on YouTube. I have to go back to fix the one on my birthday because for some reason copyright took it off from being seen. So thank you. I think it was Danielle who told me it was copyright on here in the chat. Thank you for letting me know. I'm gonna go back and try to appeal that so it's not a problem in the future. But hopefully that answers your questions if you had them. Next up on the list, we have Bronwyn. Bronwyn, that is you. Bronwyn. I feel like, no, didn't we do a reading? Yeah, I know this name. I was like, I know you. I have your chart here. I feel like, yeah, I sure do. There you are. No, this is a different one. There's another Bronwyn. I love this. Wow. I did have a reading for you, but your birth information is different. Give me 1 second here. Birthers. Thank you, love. So, Green Goddess Botanic, wherever you are in the chats, just say hello and let me know you're here. Oh, beautiful. Mm-hmm. Yay. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. So this is for you, dear. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Et voila. For Green Goddess Botanique. So, some notes shared. Thank you for sharing, of course, so vulnerably. It sounds like it's so we've partnered with the Libra, which is beautiful. It's great. You know, we have a Libra sun in the 7th house. You know, the 7th house paints a picture as well of the type of partner we're wanting to attract. Venus also adds another layer to that conversation. So anytime I'm looking at partnership and sort of energies to consider exploring, I'm looking at what's happening in the 7th house, and I'm looking at where is Venus. So beautiful. Sun in Libra, found yourself another Libra to partner with. I can see that as being a connection that's great. That's wonderful. That's amazing. For instance, my sun is in Aries in the 7th house, and my partner is in Aries. So it's really beautiful. It's really wonderful. So it works for me. If I probably had a different energy in the 7th house, who knows? That would look different. But a couple of things came through as I'm reading your notes. Yes, there is this sun in Libra, which is beautiful. Yes, there is this Mercury in Libra, which is beautiful. Balance, fairness, beauty, Venus, literally, so great, so wonderful for you. And balance is very important. But on top of all of this, to add some context, we have a South Node in Libra, which paints the picture of someone who is probably too compromising, right? South Node in Libra, we're looking at the shadow of Libra, and the shadow of Libra is whatever you want. I don't care, whatever you want. What do you want? I don't care. I want whatever you want. I'm happy with what you want. And deep down inside, there is this voice that's going, me, what about me, right? So I would say your relationships, your closest relationships, are really important. That's really special. Your sun feels so seen and so loved in those closest relationships. But we especially have to clock when we prioritize relationships against the self as well, to which now you have North Node in Aries. And North Node in Aries, not in just any house, right? We're looking at North Node in Aries in the 1st house, where Aries is at home, which says, I have the right to exist. I have the right to be a voice in the room. I have a right to maybe rock the boat a little bit with my personality, with myself, which means we are here in this life to risk potential confrontation in that expression, right? I think it's beautiful. You have that beautiful, soft Pisces rising, Jupiter here in Pisces as well. So like there's that dreamy quality. You're such a love. You're such a beauty. You're such a joy. I love it. It's a soft, soft energy. But I think in that Pisces energy, which doesn't know where they end or other people begin, kind of dissolving and seeing and experiencing and embodying emotions that don't really belong to you in a very North Node in Aries way, going, nope, that's not mine. This is mine. That's not me. This is me. And that's okay. It's okay to be that. It's okay to express yourself. It's okay to be yourself. You are not here to shapeshift and to become your partner. So I hope even in this current partnership you're in, which is beautiful and lovely and very Libra, 7th house territory, Libra thrives in the 7th house, right? But do you feel like yourself? Or do you feel like what you think your partner wants you to be, which is a Libra South Node trap in the 7th house territory. We're talking about masking. We're talking about people pleasing. We're talking about kind of brushing things or truth underneath the surface because, oh, now's not a right time, and it's not the nice thing, or it's not the kind thing. And part of you just really wants to be liked. And it's beautiful. We all want to be liked, right? But with the South Node in Libra, we're looking at being liked and also like probably not being loved for our truth. Being loved with the version of our truth that feels more palatable, that feels more digestible for other people. And North Node in Aries is going, no, me. And this is going to be a pretty sharp era for your life, because on top of that, we have transiting around here in the outer wheel. We have Neptune in Aries, Saturn in Aries, Mars in Aries, which is going to be activating that North Node. We also have Mercury right now with Chiron. We're not really paying attention to that, but these right here, absolutely. And we have Uranus in Gemini and Venus in Gemini right now, which is telling you your questions, your curiosities are leading you somewhere. Okay? There's a lot of questions that we're not asking. And that emotional world, when all the lights go off and we're with ourselves and in that private world, it's so chatty. There's a lot of questions, probably a little existentially questions like, well, who am I? What do I want? What do I value? What is my worth? What is this thing? And da 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 da. And I feel this here, but like, I also like want to do something that I've always wanted to do. And let me tell you, Venus and Scorpio, you attract intensity. The shadows don't scare you. We're talking about the 8th house of shadow, 8th house of intensity, 8th house of Scorpio, basically. And you have Venus here and you have Pluto here in the house of inheritance. So we sometimes inherit grief. We sometimes inherit intensity and melodrama and betrayal. And with all that Libra energy, we might not give ourselves full permission to process it. We might not give ourselves full permission to experience the truth. Now, if we were to just live in the truth and the grief, we wouldn't get anything done, which is why you have that North Node in Aries, which is going, we got to do something, babe. We got to do something. We got to take action. We got to take action. And in us taking action, first taking action with what? In the direction of what we need. Talk about securing your oxygen mask first, and then securing it on your sister, on your lover, on your children, on your family, on those people you love. But until you know for yourself where you stand and you do the brave work of getting to know yourself, right? Taking yourself out on dates to, etching out some quality time for you. I see this South Node in Libra energy, and I see it as someone who is like, I can't even think of going to the movie theaters by myself. I just want to go to movie theaters with other people, which is sure, but have you ever gone and watched a movie for yourself? Have you ever gone and taken yourself out on a date? Have you ever had an impulse to do something and just did it without asking other people for feedback or permission to just do it? Looking to others to validate you? Aries here in the North Node in the house of self, we're looking at, it's a Phoenix area. It's a Phoenix era with all this Neptune energy, Saturn energy here. And it wants you to do the brave work of individuating yourself from the relationships you've built that probably see you through such a limited lens. And that Gemini moon of yours knows that there's so much more to you than the expectations of family, right? Yeah, marrying yourself as well. We've already married that person who feels like our person, which is beautiful. But have you communed with yourself in a way that goes, wow, I know I got me. I love me. I really fuck with me. I think me is great. I have a great time with me, and I have a great time with the people I love. And I have a great time with the people I admire. It's both. I love me and I love you. And that's great. It's not I love me to the extent that you love me. If you love me, I love me. That's not what we're looking at here with North Node Aries. It's like, no, I love me first, and therefore I love you even more because I love me. The love that I extend to myself is an extension of the love that I extend to you. That is the medicine here. That is what Aries North Node is all about in that first house of self. Okay? Yeah, get your fire on, baby. Get your passion on. And also, communicate it diplomatically to your partner. And like, hey, I want to do this for myself. I'm going to try something new. I love you, and I love me. All right? All right, friends. Great. 2025. No, thank you. I love your screen name. That's great. 2025 was tough. Thank you for being active participants in this space. I love you all. I see you all. I appreciate you all. I love the comments coming through. For anybody who booked a reading, thank you. For anybody curious to do so, go to colormecrazy.world/info. You'll find all my offerings on there. And this is it. This is it for now. Thank you. Thank you for pouring into this space. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your confirmations. And happy full moon in Scorpio happening tomorrow. I'll be doing a full moon in Scorpio workshop tomorrow for my private membership community called The Collective. If you would like information on how to join, again, you can go to the link in my bio on Instagram, or you can go to colormecrazy.world/info for more info. Thank you. Say goodbye to everyone in the space before heading out. Acknowledge each other, wish each other well. Wish those things for yourself. We're doing it. We did it, Joe. I love you all. And bye for now. Bye. Oh, I was musing on the thought that I was likely my first unrequited love. Ooh, that's beautiful, babe. It's quite beautiful. Beautiful. Blessings. Happy today. Woo! What a time. 555 views. Yay. Yay. All right, friends. Love you all.